can't hear me.
Straight talk all day, every day. We talk about them games that you play. It's Knucklehead and K-Bomb on the MIC. Straight talk, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk, straight talk.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is your boy Levelhead back with my partner K-Bomb 20 and D2K, and this is Straight Talk Sundays. No, this is not the Live and Level Gamers podcast. This is Straight Talk. Anyway, so I named these guys already, but I'm gonna let them go ahead and introduce themselves for themselves, starting with Optimus Prime. Go ahead.
Hello.
And this is the dude, my other partner here. Go ahead, man.
Yo, what's up, y'all? If anybody remember the Straight Talk videos, go ahead and smash that like button. Give me a like so you know you remember me back in the day when I first started. For sure. Thank you.
So hopefully Jedi Knight jumps on here. I know we've been saying we're going to do this and then end up not doing it, so he might not have any true faith that we're going to be here. But hopefully he jump on in the midst, and also John Shaw if they get the invites. Anyway, this is Straight Talk Sundays. We're going to try to do this not every Sunday, probably once, maybe if no more than twice a month we try to do these. But we got a few topics here set up for you guys. But before we do that, I know we already did this in the Live and Level Gamers podcast. But what you been gaming on, K-Ball?
So I'm still on this Madden. It hasn't been a whole week for the Madden yet, so I'm just trying to get into the groove of things. Got to get ready before the football season starts. So I'm doing a little bit of the MUT, if anybody know about how that works. It's like a trading card thing. So I'm doing that right now. In the meanwhile, I'm going to start my little franchise when the season starts. So getting ready for the football season, that's the biggest thing for me. So outside of that, I've gotten a little bit of not Overwatch in. I haven't played that in a while. But The Witcher 3. That's still my game. I know I was in a conversation in the last podcast in the chat. I was in a conversation with, Kevin, I think his name. We were going a little back and forth about The Witcher, and he was just explaining to me some things about it, how the DLC is even, to his opinion, is even better than the original game, and we even share some same likeness about how we got started with The Witcher and how we end up continuing on further down the line. So that's why I've been on just playing some of that Gwent, for those who know that is in The Witcher 3, trying to get some better cards because that one chick is kicking my butt. So that's what I've been on. Probably trying to get some more Overwatch in, but I'll probably start back whenever they either release a new character or start that Season 2 back up. So
okay. All right. D2K, what you been gaming on, man? That was a good one. That caught me off guard. So you ain't been gaming on nothing. Any movies, anything?
Well, no. Last movie I went to go see was Suicide Squad, and that was a couple weeks ago, whatever.
Yeah, we were supposed to be talking about that, but I haven't seen it yet. Neither has K-Bomb. So
no, I haven't really. The only thing that I've watched, I started watching it, but I finished watching the Son of Batman on Netflix, which was actually a pretty awesome movie. I really enjoyed that.
That's the anime one?
It's animation, yeah.
Yeah, that one is good. I guess a few other ones you need to watch then.
Well, I've watched a lot of them.
Okay.
I mean, that I had just started watching that one, and then I have stopped watching for some reason.
Is that with Damon?
Yeah,
Yes, Damien. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, I seen that one. My brother, big Batman dude, he was telling me about that one. I know you're talking about.
yeah, that's good. That's real good. Okay, as far as me, I actually didn't game any since we last talked, but I did binge out on the Zelda lore. Like I've been watching video after video about Skull Kid, about Zelda and the timeline, about Majora's Mask, like its creation, about what's her name, Impa and whatever her civilization is. What is they called? Uh, I can't think of their name, but anyway, man, I binged and binged and binged and binged to the point that I'm finna play Twilight Princess. No, I'm not talking about the HD version because I didn't go buy it, but I'm finna put in the Wii version in my Wii U and play all the way through Twilight Princess again, cause there's so much stuff that I guess I just was not paying attention to. And then I think I'm gonna go through Skyward Sword again, and then maybe even go back through. I want to go back through Ocarina of Time again, because I literally got lost in the storyline and the lure of Zelda, man, and Link and all these different characters that I really didn't know about fully. And I thought about the podcast we did on Live and Level a long time ago with Triforce Johnson, where it was dedicated to the whole Zelda timeline and how he said that the three different timelines are not actually correct. Is one timeline um, that has different spots where different things happen, but it's one continuous timeline. If you haven't seen that podcast, go back through the archives, check it out. You'll enjoy it. Well, man, I think I got hooked on this whole Zelda backdrop again, man. So I'm highly anticipating Breath of the Wild, man, because I was so lost. I mean, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a couple of hours. I'm talking about from the time I woke up to like 11 o'clock at night. All I watched was videos on theories and backdrops and possibilities. Majora's Mask, how it was created, and how the mask in Twilight Princess they was created by the same people, and how that group is actually this group that went into, what I'm saying, there was a banished into the dark world or whatnot. Man, it was so much. I was like, God, I didn't even really catch all this. So that's kind of what I did since we last talked. So as soon as we get off, I'm going to play Zelda. I'm sorry, I'm putting that
Hey,
in.
hey, can I bring something up, man? I know this ain't one of the topics that
Go ahead.
we want to talk about, but I was thinking about this the other day because I was trying to understand my love affair right now with The Witcher, and I was trying to understand because I remember us having a conversation a while ago, level, and you were telling me about how if I love The Witcher, I should also like Zelda, and so I was trying to find out, would that be true? And I started looking at the new gameplay for the Zelda game, which in itself is a little similar to The Witcher, just by not exactly similar. I'm just trying to paraphrase here, but it's a little similar. And I was trying to find out if I like The Witcher, would I also like Zelda? And like I said, the game isn't out yet. I'm just speculating, but it was something about me when I was looking at the Zelda gameplay that was just saying I don't think I would like this. And what I came to find out is that what I one of the reasons why I also do love The Witcher, even though the story is rich, and you're saying the same thing about Zelda, is that I'm finding out more and more that I what I prefer and the things look that things look is that sadly I like things that look realistic more than things that look cartoonish. That's one thing that I've been coming across and finding out that the same game can can be there, but I wouldn't be interested in it because of the different art style. Because this one has a more of a cartoonist type look, and this one has a more as a of a realistic cloth. Everything looks realistic, the cloth and stuff like that. Yeah, it's still a fantasy world, but metal still shines like metal, and cloth looks like cloth, or something like that. And so I guess I wanted to, talk a little bit about that, and also throw that question about to you guys Is do you guys have an opinion when it comes to that, or does it even matter when comparing something that looks realistic like a Call of Duty or something that looks cartoonish like a Splatoon? You know,
Well, it goes back to the topic we was gonna start with experience. Like what we ended with on Live and Level, we can kind of use that to bridge into this because it's the experience. Like to me, and I let D2K had to, he can speak for himself, but to me, when I told you that it was listening to you, go into why you was interested in Witcher 3 just before you actually bought the game. You was talking about how you was interested in it. You didn't want for sure you wanted to try it out, but after watching it and seeing some aspects of it, you was kind of interested. So now you have
right,
bought it and you all into it.
right,
Well, I know that but you also said typically, even in being realistic, those type of games don't attract you, like the whole what's that John Shaw been trying to get us to play? It's on the PlayStation 2. No, 3. It's the same. It's in the same vein as Witcher 3. I
man, I
can't.
can't. I'm talking about Dark Souls, something like that. You talking about?
No, it ain't dark. It's like it come to me in a second. But anyway, it's all in that same vein where you in this open world and you exploring and there's dragons and you this protagonist or you this person that really is a role playing game. Uh,
Right.
and so it's got the same elements of Witcher 3,
Oh yeah, Elder Scrolls. That's what it was.
Elder
Elder
Scrolls, yeah.
Scrolls. Yeah.
Uh, see, I would have never been into Elder Scrolls for the very reason you say you're not into Zelda was the artistic direction. Like
Right.
I didn't like the artistic direction of Elder Scrolls. I don't like how that looked, but I do like how The Witcher 3 looked, and I do love how Breath of the Wild, Zelda, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild look. Now those are two totally different art styles, but for some reason, Elder Scrolls didn't translate to me well as far as art, and so the art didn't allow me to want to experience it. But
Right.
from what John Shaw is saying, it's a great game. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. I mean, because I believe if you like in Witcher, I think you would like Zelda. I think you would really get off into the lure of Zelda, the backdrop, the storyline, the different.
Right.
And if the graphics is, I don't know how to answer that because I had the same thing with Elder Scrolls. D2K, can you answer that? I mean, I don't know.
Well, let me ask you a question, K-Bob.
For sure.
Now, you said that you didn't care for the art style of Breath of the Wild, um, but the actual mechanics and what you're doing in the game seem okay. It's just the art style that you didn't really get down with.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it was several things. So I wasn't feeling the art style, the cartoonish look, and I wasn't feeling the some of the well just the early goons. They were just kind of just blah.
Right, so it still kind of flows into the art style thing, the
Yeah.
design of the goons.
Yeah.
Now, let's just say that everything that you've seen from Zelda Breath of the Wild was done in the graphics that we saw from the E3 2011 tech demo for
Right.
Zelda. Would that change your perception of Zelda?
I actually to be said, yeah, I probably would be more interested in it. I don't know if I would say, oh my god, I got to get this game. But I would be more interested. The point in case is that the help out the case I'm trying to say is that I was more interested when I first saw uh,
Twilight Princess.
no, not Twilight Princess. Laura Craft. What is her? Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
But when I saw the Tomb Raider on Xbox, I was more interested in that than I was when I saw Zelda. Even though it looked good, even though Zelda looked complex, it looked deep, the gameplay looked like it was there, but I was more interested in what I saw in that game than what I saw in the Zelda game, which to me is Zelda is probably going to be a much better game.
Right. Well, I mean, for me personally, our style doesn't make much of a difference as long as this is a good game. It's a good game. That's the reason why I still play games that are generations behind and still have the same amount of fun
True
with
that.
those games that I do with games that are at bleeding edge in terms of graphics today. Um, I think that if it's a subject matter or if it's an IP that started off realistic and became popular as being realistic, and then you try to change that art style to something else later to make it look more anime like or cartoon like, that kind of puts a sour taste in my mouth. I'm all for trying new things, but some things just don't need to be messed with. And vice versa. If something was like, it'd be like if they tried to make a realistic looking Mario. That
Yeah,
wouldn't work.
that wouldn't work. Yeah, that wouldn't
That
work.
wouldn't work. That wouldn't work for me. Mario
Now,
is,
unless you're
is
talking about Pixar level anime, where
when I
the
say realistic, I mean what a human being would look like if
yeah,
he was a
nah, that
fat
wouldn't
You
Italian
mean
work.
you mean
punk.
like the movie?
Yeah, or the TV show with Captain Lou Albano as Super Mario.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Unfortunately, I accidentally watched some of that last night, I oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, bro.
So pray for me, but but so that would be realistic, but it's not. That's not what we want from Mario. Mario is its own thing. It has its own art style. We like it for what it is. So I think that as long as you keep things the way that they were from the beginning, regardless if it's a cartoony art style, whether it's an anime style art style, or if it's a Western anime art style, whether it's realistic, whether it's photorealistic, whether it's semi-realistic, as long as it stays consistent all the way through, all art styles are good to me.
You know what? I have to agree with you on that because I know when I first saw um what was that game? Dang, what's that game called?
What system?
It was Naruto, right? When they first started coming out with those Naruto's, I was blown away. And I was like, I don't even watch the cartoon, but I want to watch it. I want to play this game. And
Now, are you talking about the Ultimate Ninja Storm games, or
yes,
okay, okay,
yes,
okay, yeah,
those.
yeah,
And I'm like, that's legit. But like you're saying, it's originally an anime,
right,
and so all they were doing was staying true to the anime.
yep,
And so what I perceived and what I saw, what I was like, cool. That's a great looking game as the form of being an anime. So
yep,
your statement and your stance on that is kind of reigning true. Um, when you're talking about the source material.
right.
So I
Okay.
got to kind of give it up to you on that one. I think I
And
would
let me
have to agree.
let me ask this: when okay, remember you told me you was into Rayman Legend for the Wii U.
Yeah, yeah, I did like it.
Now, what made you do? Okay, had you not played it with the art style that kept you from playing it?
No, the art style didn't keep me from playing it. Actually, I think I had played it on my phone already, and so I was accustomed to the way it looked. And I
Okay,
actually thought the art style was pretty cool. It was cartoonish, but it was still crisp.
Very crisp.
okay, yeah, it was very quick.
It was.
What I was going to say was like, so. Oh, wait a minute. What you just saw? Are you saying Breath of the Wild doesn't look crisp?
No, no. I think what's going on is it's the style of gameplay compared to the graphics that it's portraying. And
Okay, so you're saying like, well, you can accept Mario, the Raymans, the Sonics
it's a
in that
platformer.
type in that platform style, especially a 2D
Yes,
platform. You can
yes.
accept that because of what it's doing in the art. That to me, you understand what you're getting into. But when you get into a big game like a Witcher 3 or Mass Effect, games that really forces you to dive into it, you would rather it look a certain way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think we're getting close to what's going on. Yeah.
And I kind of I can kind of see where you're going with this because it seems like the direction they're going from Breath of the Wild is such a diversion from what we are used to in Zelda games to where it's not just about hack and slash, you're not cutting grass to get hearts and rubies. You actually have to survive. You
Right.
actually have to kill animals and cook them for food to eat so Link can stay alive. You got to find clothes. You got to find materials. You got to find your weapons, and then you can lose your weapon. You can use any weapon that you find, and it's more of a contemporary design for something, and that's something we haven't really seen in Zelda games before to this level. And it seems like you're saying that the art style doesn't fit that level of seriousness that is in the game.
Right.
And remember, I'm just saying for me, I don't want nobody
Right,
to
right,
leave
right. Because I was
no. I'm just saying I don't want nobody to leave me no angry comments.
That's gonna happen
Right.
anyway. It's gonna happen
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, you already opened up that. But what I was going to say was, this is kind of going to make me backtrack on what I said in Live and Level Gamers podcast, where I said, we was talking about experience versus entertainment, and then we changed that. But like what you just described to me, I like that about Zelda. I like that Zelda allows a little bit of my imagination to play into the world more so than trying to blow me away with this overhaul of graphical presentation where every tree is realistic, every way the wind is blowing is realistic, the horse hair and fur look realistic, the protagonist suit and clothing and cloth look realistic, the boots look real, the facial expressions look real, whereas Link and Zelda in the world, it gives me a great presentation right there to be had, what I'm looking at, but it kind of also leaves room for my imagination to explore as well because of the presentation. Like that cartoony look allows me to imagine even more than the actual realistic game would. So for me, that's a plus because I think I get tired of, and I use Tomb Raider. Like, I noticed that I never get bored or tired of playing through a Zelda, no matter what stage I go to, because of the design and the cartoon animated. It's like they have freedom to do more because they're not so pressed with trying to make everything be ultra realistic, ultra shiny, ultra polished. So they're actually able to explore it creatively, imaginationally. Their imagination is able to go even farther because they don't have to worry about putting all the spit shine on it to make it look good. Whereas in a Tomb Raider or even Uncharted 4,
Yeah.
while these games look graphically retarded level, the creativity that went into the stage is limited because they had to make all that stuff look super good. So they kind of lean to wilderness and woods and trees and foliage and rocks and caves, but they can't create a dungeon like Zelda would, where it's all this crazy stuff in it that's not realistic, that don't really point to anything that you would see in the real world. And it creates, well, it does and it don't. You know what I'm saying? They exaggerate. Like, it's some things that you're going to see in Zelda you ain't going to see in Uncharted.
Well, I have a point of contention.
Go ahead.
I spoke about this before, but I guess I'll bring it up again because now it's a good time. There are two YouTubers who have channels that are dedicated to actually taking Zelda boards, most of them are for Ocarina of Time, and reimagining them using Unreal Engine 4.
Yeah, I seen that.
Whoa, okay.
One of them his name is Albert R.E. Wesker. And there's another one, his name is Cry Zen X, I believe that's his name. They both have different styles of how they go about it, but both these guys have been able to basically model all the assets from let's just say like the water temple from Ocarina of Time.
I seen it. I seen the actual video of that.
He'll model all the pieces and things in a program like 3ds Max or Maya or ZBrush or something like that. And he'll port all those assets over to Unreal Engine 4, and then he'll actually, put it all together to make an actual board. You actually have Link running around in these ultra realistic HD versions of the game, of the original.
No, I think I have seen that.
Yeah, and it's completely accurate to the source material, and it looks realistic, but it still retains the cartoonish art style that we're used with Zelda, even though it looks like it's real. So to me, and this is just one guy that's doing this. This isn't like the team of animators and stuff like that. This is one guy doing this whole thing all by himself. So if one guy can do this, I'm pretty sure that a team of people who have been developing games for years at one of the greatest video game companies ever can
In
do
the
the same
world, Craig.
in a
Right. Well, what I was my only pushback to that, because I agree, but you're talking about one person taking one aspect of the Zelda game and creating that realistically toned with real flesh-looking skin. It still retains, like you said, the anime look, but it's more like CGI Toy Story level graphics. But they only taking one. Now I'm about what I was meaning by what I'm saying is, imagine, like, cause Nintendo gets real creative with these stages and these backdrops and these dungeons. Imagine a whole game where it's at the level of an Uncharted, the level of a Tomb Raider, but the whole game has got that Nintendo creative polish to it. That's gonna take a long time, bro. I mean, because like I said, the reason I like Uncharted 2 is because when you went into the Buddhist temple where you climbing on the bells and all that, it and I'm not gonna lie, it made me feel like I was playing like a Zelda-like, it was Zelda-like stages, dungeons, where you was in the Buddhist temple, where you went down into the basement and you had to climb up the Mayan knife that was in the middle of the stage and all that stuff. That had a Zelda-like presence to me, where all the other Uncharted's have not matched to me Uncharted 2. And it wasn't the graphics that they wasn't matching, it was the creativity of the stages that you were actually...
So you telling me 4 didn't? Because, man, 4 was
4
creative.
matched graphics, but graphically 4 is the best.
Man.
Stage-wise, Uncharted 2 had, to me, more exotic, more creative stages. To me, Uncharted 2 had the better creative stages. Like Uncharted 4, you on beaches, you on some pirate ships, you in some caves. But in Uncharted 2, you climbing across big old monk bells that's under this, like, stuff that you don't think you really see in real life.
I remember the bells.
And then you go into this one part where you fighting off these these like half beast, half human things, and you go to the city of whatever that city was at the end that you finally discovered. Like, to me, it was more exotic, more fantasy, more imaginative than Uncharted 3, which was just realistic. Then Uncharted 4 was
don't spoil the ending of it. I ain't got the ending.
I can't even. I don't even want to find out the end of Uncharted 3. That's how
I'm talking about 4. I'm talking about 4.
Oh well, 4.
Don't spoil it. I haven't seen the ending.
The end is good, but it's lacking that element of, wow, I've never really seen that in the game. Now I'm pretty sure Witcher 3 might have some of those elements. Same thing that God of War does, but again, God of War is set in a small set piece. The stages are not really as broad and big as a Zelda game. So, I don't know. I feel what D2K saying, though, but I think that'd take more of that'd take more time to bring Zelda into a Witcher 3 place than to do it like Witcher 3, because there's a lot of creativity. I'm not saying Witcher 3 doesn't have it. I'm saying what Zelda and the stages that they designed is so far-fetched, so different, so abnormal. It fits in a cartoon world, whereas Witcher 3, you're really dealing with reality. Like, you going to a church or you going to a palace. It's different than Zelda. So, I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but...
Yeah, I feel your explanation.
Okay.
But Witcher 3 is more fantasy than any game that I've played, because I'm not a big fantasy guy. I'm more sci-fi than fantasy. But The Witcher 3 does have a lot of fantasy, and even the diversity of the things that you fight. That's a lot of, and I'm not even
See,
close to discovering
that's
this dude
Zelda,
fighting.
man. That's what I'm saying. You need to use. I think you need to get past the whole graphic part, the animation,
Bruh, that's gonna be
and
hard,
just
bruh.
try it, man.
That's
Just
gonna be
try it,
hard,
dude.
bruh.
Uh,
I'm interested in the new one though, like for real. Like in all seriousness, I'm very interested. I like what I saw in the new one. I mean, I like what I saw. It looked really good. And I'll
yeah.
just have to go to somebody's house that has that X. So
No, cause some of the stuff you point out, and we'll move on to the next topic. Some of the stuff you point out about Mass Effect that you like, uh, and it is making me think, am I right on what I just said before? Because Mass Effect has some very creative uh, set pieces, stages. It's very creative, but when you go in sci-fi, there's certain truths that you stick to that you don't have to. Once you've seen Star Wars or Star Trek, you kind of know what to do with a Mass Effect. So they ain't venturing into places we ain't never really seen before. Whereas Zelda, and I can't say this for Witcher 3 because I haven't played it, so people who have played Witcher 3 can speak up in the comment section. There are stages in Zelda that I've never seen in no other game, nothing like it. Is that fair to say, D2K?
Well, I'm pretty sure there are some.
Very few. Is it fair to say very few that come close to what Zelda does? Just far as the imagination that goes into.
I would say that the I'm not sure how to put this, but the design of how they use the assets in some of these boards are unique.
Right. There you
More
go.
the actual props that they're using may or not be unique themselves, but how they put things together and it's almost like if you just dump a bucket of Legos on the ground and let the kids go at it. All the kids are going to create something different, but they're using the same tools. So I think that the creativity of the developers at Nintendo, they can take things that exist in the real world, but put them together in a unique way that's unique only to Nintendo type games.
Yeah. I like how you put that. I like how that sounds. Cause it's just something, and I think that's what keeps me coming back to Nintendo. That's what keeps me a avid Nintendo fan is the fact that no matter where I go to game at, whether it's on the Xbox One or PlayStation 4, while I find great games, very enjoyable games, there's something about that Nintendo touch that I have yet to find on any other console. Like even back when Rare was with Nintendo, what Rare did back in those days is different. And you still ain't found the Banjo Kazooie. You still don't get those type of games, even though you got a whole bunch of platformers out there. It's not like Mario. It's not like Banjo Kazooie.
Well,
And
and Banjo Kazooie hasn't been the same since
they
Nintendo.
left Nintendo, right? So it's like things like that kind of. It's like and I say that Nintendo magic, but I think Naughty Dog has some magic too that I
Almost
haven't
definitely.
seen. Yeah, I haven't seen what Naughty Dog does anywhere else. So it ain't just Nintendo, but Nintendo has so many titles that put me in that fix, like F-Zero. There's many other games like F-Zero, but some reason they ain't like F-Zero, even though they doing like D2K said, they using the same tools, the same ideal is there, but how it's put together and orchestrated is something that sets F-Zero apart from Wipeout. Am I
Yeah,
wrong?
I mean, yeah, because you had Wipeout, you had Extreme G, you got Fast Racing Neo, you got a couple other for the Fast Racing series because there's one on the Wii
Right.
as well. There's some other futuristic racing games out there, but it seems
But
that F Zero is the most popular one. It's not my favorite, but it's the most popular one as far as futuristic racing games.
okay. Which one your most popular? I'm curious to know.
Which one is my favorite?
Yeah.
I like Extreme G. I always loved Extreme G on the N64. I thought that was awesome because I felt like I was in control of my
Every,
machine.
okay. I'm gonna have to go look. I don't remember Extreme G. I had to look that up. But anyway, let's keep this thing going. I think we exhausted that.
Yeah, we
So
did. I kind of hijacked that. Thanks
no, that was
for the
good. That was
conversation.
fine.
It was good conversations.
So let's go to this, man. We touched on it, but we didn't really dive into the effect that this is going to have on or if it will have an effect, and I want to get y'all thoughts. So PlayStation Now is going to the PC. Now I know, so a lot of the whole hoopla about Microsoft games going to Windows. Now the PlayStation Now, all the games on PlayStation Now will be available on Windows, so you'll be able to play the Uncharted and all the exclusive to the PlayStation console on your Steam accounts and Windows and all that stuff. Well, not Steam account, but you'll be able to play it through PlayStation Now on your Windows and computers and stuff. So since I started with K-Bump, did I start with K-Bump 20 last time? Yeah, you hijacked it. So yeah, you started. So D2K, what's your thoughts on this, man? How is this going to affect, or will this affect PlayStation console owners in any kind of way? Will this hurt Sony?
No, it won't hurt Sony.
Okay.
Quiet as it's kept, I think that all three companies are going this direction, Nintendo included. As a matter of fact, I think there is some verbiage in some of the initial comments that Iwata was making about the NX back in 2015 that suggested that Nintendo would also have their games be available to play on devices other than their dedicated consoles. So I think that this is just going to be something that's going to be part of the status quo as far as being able to play your main first-party titles on devices other than their main devices. I don't think this is going to hurt Sony at all. I think that it's just I can't say that this is a reactionary move, which is something they've been planning for a long time. But I think that in some ways that could be the reason why Sony is not going for a big, super powerful console right now to compete with Scorpio. They just have something that's a little bit more powerful than the PlayStation 4, so they can get 4K gaming and VR to work on it. Because Sony is definitely capable of matching whatever Scorpio is, but they don't feel it necessary to do so right now because they just want to have something that's powerful enough to do what they need to do as far as something on, for people who don't want to invest in a huge gaming rig PC. But I think that they want to make sure that all their bases are covered, so that where there's not this audience out there that Microsoft can have all to themselves, where Sony just has their dedicated console gaming base and that's it, because they don't have that revenue coming in from portable gaming like Nintendo does. So it's pretty much all PlayStation 4 and nothing else. So they have to spread out and be more diverse in order to keep being successful, in order to stay on top.
Okay. K-Bomb, jump in, man.
Yeah. So I don't think this is going to be a negative or have negative impact to Sony. Because remember, all this is as of right now is just PS3 games. Yeah. So all this really is at this point, I believe, is PS3 games, and so allowing broadening your market to get more people involved into your Sony product is not a negative. Because remember, this has been available for Sony TVs for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was available on the PS3, the PS4, and some Sony Bravia TVs. So
even their DVD players and Blu-ray players, some of them got the whole
right.
Play PlayStation Now on it. So
yeah, so they've already been venturing off of their home console, but this is the first time they're venturing off something that they don't own. So
right.
but I don't think it's a bad choice for Sony. I don't think it's even going to hurt because, like I said, they're just getting more people who may have had a PS3 at some point in their lifespan, or may have had a PS2 sometime in their lifespan. We know there's a whole bunch of those, and spreading out to the PC world, where you can get that revenue there. And remember, they bought out. I'm gonna butcher the name. I know I'm saying it wrong. Gaikai.
I know you're talking about
Gaikai. Is it Gaikai?
Yeah, Gaikai. They bought them a long time ago, and they were saying for this streaming, for this very reason right here is why they bought them. So I don't know, D2K said something about this not being a reaction, which I 100% believe. This is not a reaction. This is something they've been planning for a long time to get to this point. And I don't know. I don't even think this is the final place. I think this is still trial. I think they
Right.
still want to go a little bit further and not put everything, but allow a lot of things that they have to be played anywhere because um, that's still money going into their pockets, and that may eventually make a change, just like Microsoft is doing, and like you said, Nintendo and maybe Sony preparing themselves to be a console gaming without true consoles.
Right.
That's something is in the future of this, and so I mean I'm not exactly sure that that's what they're planning that they're going to, but it's definitely in the works.
Okay. All right. I'll answer this question by asking a question to both of you guys. D2K, do you have a Walmart in your area?
Have plenty of them,
Okay. What about a McDonald's?
of course.
How many McDonald's do you have in just your maybe a 15-mile radius? How many McDonald's would you say you have around you?
I can't even answer that question. I
That
mean,
many, right?
it's just that many. I mean, McDonald's is you see a McDonald's every time. I I would say probably 50.
50. All right. K-Bomb, you in the STL. In your 15-mile radius, how
Hey man,
many?
don't get my location out these people, man. These people crazy.
My bad. All right. Well, you in Missouri with me. In your
Zero.
in your radius, 15-mile radius, how many Walmarts or McDonald's can you access?
Man, I'm in the same boat as D2K, man. There's so many of these things. I heard like every other block, you hitting the Walmart, or you gonna hit a McDonald's.
Okay, I'm in a little small place, man, and I can access at least 3 McDonald's, and we got 2 Walmarts. Our population ain't no more than about 60,000. So
Y'all got two down there?
yeah, we got another one down in there, down here now.
Oh, that's
So
new. That's new.
right, since you left the college, yeah. So my point is, how is making your software available in more places a bad thing? That's
Right.
my point.
Right.
Like I hear a lot of folks getting upset with Microsoft with the whole bringing their games to PC and Xbox in some kind of way that's going to hurt Xbox. No, actually, the more people buy the software, the more money that generates. You don't have to go buy a PC. You still have your Xbox. So if you want to play Gears of War, you buy for your Xbox. But that don't keep a person with a PC and Steam or whatever from buying a Gears of War there and playing it. So Microsoft is making money everywhere. And I think Sony, in a way, is thinking like this too. If I put if I limit it to the PlayStation hardware, we're gonna end up not doing anything because ain't nobody buying it at the rate that we need. But if we open this up and we allow people who own PCs access to PlayStation now, and these games who don't own PlayStation 4s, who don't want PlayStation 3s, who ain't turning on their PlayStation 2 or whatnot, they can, like Steam, add this to their services and play all these games. That's more money for Sony. And if they even go farther and be like, we even gonna develop, right alongside Uncharted, we're gonna develop one for the PC. That's more money for Sony. It's not gonna make a dude that owned the PlayStation 4 not buy it, because I know too many people who buy a copy for both platforms, a copy to play with their friends online on the PlayStation 4, and a copy to experience the high definition quality of the high the high level graphics and the 1080p's and the 4K resolutions and all that stuff on their PC. They buy the game for that there. So actually, Sony is double dipping, so to speak, because one person bought the game twice to play it with their friends on the PlayStation 4 and play it with their friends on the PC. At least that's what Microsoft is doing. So it's a win-win. You ain't losing for making your stuff more available. The
Right.
more you make it, so like why you think Walmart is everywhere? So that they get, at least they try to access every person in America or in the world, they try to make sure Walmart is there for you to access. And I don't see nothing wrong with Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo, you know what I'm saying, doing something like that. So
All right, so
that's my
let,
opinion.
let me help your case, brother. So there's a game called what is it called? Evolve. There's a game called Evolve that came out, right?
Uh,
And it came out on the PlayStation, PS4, and Xbox One, I believe.
yeah, I think it
And
came out on 360 and PS3 too.
it did come on those two. Okay.
I think so. Don't quote me on, but I
All
think
right.
it
So
did.
this game was not well received. I believe the Metacritic score was a 4.7, something like that. So safe to say it was not well received. And it also released on Steam. Okay. And and this game was on the verge of being dead, being loss of money for them, for Ubisoft, and them just losing money on this game. Ubisoft made the decision to take the game and make it free to play, which does exactly what we're saying, which is gives everyone an opportunity to play the game. Correct?
Right.
They went from having 1,000 concurrent users to having like 100,000 concurrent users, or something like that. That once they made it free to play and they opened it up, at one point they had around 1 million people playing their game because they
Online
made
at
it.
one time.
I think users, not at one time. I don't think they never had 1 million at one time, but just users in general. I think unique users. I think they got up to about 1 million, and now they're up to, I forget the number. I want to say 500,000. I think that's kind of high, but I'll say like 100,000 concurrent users. Somebody look that up and get the numbers and back me up. Make sure I ain't out here lying on these people. But a bunch of concurrent users that they didn't have before because they made the game available to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think based off that, we can be safe to say that making your system, making your game safe for everyone to play or allow everyone to play it is a good thing, and there's so many more benefits you'll get from that than keeping it tied to just one thing or behind a paywall or something like that. So that's my case for this still being a good decision.
Okay. I agree. DTK.
No, I have nothing to add to that.
Okay. So like I said, this is straight talk, so we ain't gonna be trying to stay out here no 2 hours. So we're gonna keep this thing going. This happened after we did the Live and Level Gamers podcast. There was an article with an interview with Reggie Fils-Aimé, I think that's how you say it, where he did a interview with A-List Daily, dealing with the lessons learned from the Wii U launch and how they're going to implement those lessons learned with the launch of the NX. And he said one of the phrases he had was, every time we launch a new platform, every time we launch a critical new game, we always learn. We always do our breakdown of what worked and what didn't. And certainly we've done that with the Wii U, he explains. It goes on to say a key area Fils-Aimé highlighted was messaging, which he believes will help the audience understand what makes NX unique. And I want y'all to look at that word unique, because that's playing into that they ain't saying unique for no reason. One of the things that we have to do better when we launch the NX, we have to do a better job of communicating the positioning for the product. We have to do a better job helping people to understand its uniqueness and what that means for the game playing experience. So Reggie is kind of dealing with the mishaps and missteps of the Wii U launch and how they're going to change that. He goes on to say we have to do a better job from a software planning standpoint to have that continuous beat of great new games that are motivating more and more people to pick up the hardware and more people to pick up the software. So these are the critical lessons that he's verbalizing. So K-Bomb 20, since I started with D2K, as a person who would need to hear that message to persuade them to buy NX, and based off your remembrance of what they did with the Wii U, does this ring loud to you, or is this just more PR jargon and not enough mustard with the hot dog? Go ahead. I like that. I'm still that now.
I like
Go
that.
ahead.
Um, maybe it's not mustard. Maybe it's a little relish over here. I think it's PR mumbo jumbo. To be honest, that's just me. I know what they're saying, but there's also another saying that says action speaks louder than words,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying that they are learning and from their mistakes, but I don't know if I can say that I'm seeing that. If I'm seeing the lesson learned from the mistakes that they've made about making it unique, and they are, like I said, using very choice words when they're when they're referring to their system, and definitely unique being one of them. But I mean, we did know, but like I said, that there wasn't enough content that actually spoke about the uniqueness when we talk about the gamepad. Wasn't enough games, and even the gamepad itself when it came to it, didn't differ enough from the majority game that it needed to be to set itself apart. So I mean, I don't buy at this point too much into what he's saying. Uh, I'm not, it doesn't change anything I feel about the system. It's still it's going to be what it is when it comes out. So I don't know. It hasn't persuaded me, and even the wording of it, the way he said it, the phrases. I'm not buying too much into it.
D2K?
I'm on the same page with that. I think there's a lot of media spin. He's a spin doctor. He's a snake oil salesman. That's what he gets paid to do. Um, he basically, when you come out and say that we need to do a better job, you're preaching to the choir.
Right.
We already know you need to do a better job. That's not even coming out and saying that is not. I mean, for some people, they might say that, oh, great, Nintendo finally gets it. But well, that like K-Bomb just said, actions speak louder than words. And based off of what we've seen in recent, even just this year, with two games like Star Fox Zero and Metroid Prime Federation Force, and how there are huge mistakes made in both of these games, and Nintendo will not acknowledge that they were mistakes. Still, to me, says that you haven't really learned too much of a lesson. You have a lot of people that, it's one thing to enjoy a game because everybody has different tastes, different strokes for different folks. If you enjoy, for instance, Metroid Prime Force Federation, there's nothing wrong with that. But there are people who are saying, well, this game is actually good, and you guys were crap on it for no reason, and they're completely missing the point as to why people were upset about this game. It had nothing to do with the quality of the game itself. It had to do with the fact that Nintendo knew that we were hungry for a Metroid game, and they slapped a Metroid skin on this. It was a bait and switch. It was a deliberate bait and switch. It was an unethical tactic by them, and that's what people got upset about. We want a Metroid Prime 4 or a new Metroid, and you give us this? It's like I'm hungry for a porterhouse steak and you give me a Spam sandwich. I didn't ask for that. I'm not saying that. I mean, if that's all I got, then I'll eat it. There's nothing wrong with a Spam sandwich if that's what you like. But you promised me a porterhouse steak, or you didn't promise, or you made it seem like that was coming with all these, cryptic things from Retro Studios that, they're working on a new game and it could be Metroid and stuff like that. It may not be Metroid, but it's just stuff like that, and you make people think that this game could be coming. I mean, I remember a couple of years ago, before E3, Nintendo said that they had two Metroid games in the pipeline, a 3D Metroid and a 2D Metroid. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that makes me think that they haven't learned their lesson. But we'll see what happens because what the index actually is will answer those questions. We won't have to have Nintendo learn their lesson. Once we see what the index is, we'll know for certain if they learned their lesson. How they handle marketing of the index will show us if they learned their lesson. But the fact that we are almost at September and we not heard Jack Diddley squat about the index, to me, lends towards they have not learned their lesson just yet because there's no excuse why we can not at least know the date of when we're going to hear about something. If you want to wait because things are not in place yet, you got to wait for certain things to get ready. That's okay, but there's no reason for you not to give us a tentative date. Just say September and leave it at that. You don't have to give us exact. Just say September or November or October or December or whenever. You can't even give us that. So I don't. You don't have any cool points for me right now, Nintendo. That's what I'm trying to say. You right now you've got too much to prove in terms of if this is an underpowered console again and you're using a gimmick to try to sell this to the masses, this gimmick better be pretty damn good.
I agree.
Preacher.
I would say a lot of words, no substance. Just a lot of words, no substance, no real meat to chew on. Just more like D2K said, and basically what K-Bum articulated. Just a lot of spinning, man. A lot of we need to say something, but we ain't gonna say what you want to hear. We ain't gonna say what you need to hear, but we gonna say something, just for the fact of we know we need to say something. So, it to me, my Nintendo is to me acting out what Sony oftentimes says. Like, Sony puts a lot of stock in who they are with their fan base. Like, next gen doesn't start until we show up and all that type of lines. And they'll buy anything we put on the market. Remember they said that with the PlayStation 3? No matter what it's cost, our fan base will buy it. I don't know if y'all remember.
They said that we can sell it for the price that we're going to sell it at with no games, and people will still buy it.
Right. So they bold and they bold about they say what Nintendo does. I think Nintendo believes that no matter what they do, they got a sector of fans that's going to stick with them, and there's enough of them that's going to stick with them no matter what. So
that is true. That part right there is 100% true. It's a contingent of people that no matter Nintendo can give you a turd in a box, and then people will go out and buy it because it says Nintendo on the cover.
Ooh, this is a nice turd.
I'm serious. I'm not even lying. I'm serious.
Right. I believe, and I ain't no you ain't got it because I've seen it, witnessed it, and know it. So, and I don't say that to offend anybody, but it's the truth. When Reggie is able to come out and say a whole bunch of nothing and it gains traction, a whole bunch of nothing gained traction, we have learned our lesson. Ain't this the same stuff they have said in the past about other stuff that they failed at doing? Didn't they learn a lesson about third party? Didn't they learn a lesson about, HD? Didn't they learn a lesson about cartridge? Didn't they learn a lesson about the CD? And so they always learning their lesson. But did they learn a lesson? That's the question. So.
And before you keep going, I want to say the same thing applies for Sony fans. The same thing applies for Microsoft.
Right.
Same thing applies for PC Master Race people. They all do the same thing. Same thing for certain. It goes on in sports with favorite sports teams, with favorite politicians, with famous actors, with famous rappers, with famous everybody. Anybody, always fanboy is going to be fanboy. So no matter what they do, right or wrong, you're going to praise it.
Right. So I'm just pointing out because to me, I used to take what Reggie said serious. I thought Reggie is slowly turning into a dude that you just can't take serious. A dude that when he speak, who cares right now? I remember when he was the dude that was taking names and kicking, what he was kicking and taking names. So. I remember that Reggie. That Reggie resonated with me. That Reggie spoke to me. And I remember when he hit the stage and he spoke up, I like that Reggie. I don't like what Nintendo has turned Reggie into. I don't like this Reggie. I don't like this dude who comes out and say a whole bunch of nothing a whole bunch of air, let out a balloon, helium, and he talking high pitched, and when people ask him real questions, he go up, it's our IPs. You know what? We know your IPs is good, but that ain't the question. The question is, what are you doing to reach today's gamer? Well, our IPs are great. We know your IPs are great.
That's what he gets. He's a paid spin doctor. He is brilliant at taking anything that you say and completely twisting it around to the point where when he's done talking, you completely forgot the question you asked him.
Right.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why he is still the president of Nintendo, because he is a master sensei at that. And I gotta give him props for it, because you're doing your job well.
Right. He a professional deflector. But what I'm saying is, why he does do his job well, and I like Reggie. I don't like what Reggie is for. I don't know if he's forced to do this. Well, he has to be forced to do this because he's doing his job. But I would like the day that Reggie could come out and be that dude who says, we kicking and we taking names. That dude who's ready to show what they got to show, who's proud of what they have to show, who believes in what they had to show. To me, the Reggie of the last few years, he don't even seem like he believes in what they're doing. And I don't know if I'm wrong in saying that, but Reggie don't come off like he believes. It's like he's just doing a job now. And I don't like that resonating from him as the president of Nintendo, where it comes off like he's just doing a job. And that's what it sounds like. It
could be because there's going to be a lot of management shakeups at Nintendo. I mean, it's not something that can happen right away, but it was said back, when Kimishima took over, that a lot of management changes are going to take place, and he may just be there until they get to whomever's going to be there. He knows that he's kind of a lame duck, and he's just doing what he's supposed to do until he finds something else to do, either move to another part of the company or move on to something else. Because it does seem like that he's kind of just there. He's not really as visible as he was before. So there might be something to that.
Yeah. That's my only thing. Like, to me, Reggie is too big to be you can let Bill, whatever that Bill Trennan or whoever he is, let him do this stuff. Stop making Reggie come out and say, when Reggie come out, we supposed to be hearing something. When you see Reggie, you supposed to feel like I'm finna hear something and we finna get some real information. Now when we hear Reggie, it's just a whole bunch of spinning going on, a whole bunch of deflection, blocking and detouring going on. That shouldn't be Reggie's job. You got lesser people on the platform or on your payroll that can sit down and do an interview and deflect for a good 30 minutes and let you read, so-and-so at Nintendo, we have learned our lesson. Miyamoto, Reggie, when they show up, you should have something to say. And to me, it's just a misusage of these individuals. They got too much star power, too much influence, too much impact to have nothing to say. Why is Miyamoto sitting on an interview? This is Miyamoto, and for a 15-minute read, he ain't saying nothing. The one dude that I don't even know his name, the big face dude at PlayStation. You don't see him, you don't read nothing about him until they got something to say. You don't. I'm sorry, but
the gamer who you said didn't look like you should be talking about games. Some of that dude.
Yeah, him. When you see people at Microsoft, like what's the dude over Microsoft? Phil Spencer. When he come out, 90% of the time he has something to say. This is what we doing. We're changing up our direction. We're putting our games on PC. This is Windows 10. He's there to announce that stuff every now and again. You hear about him talking back and forth on Twitter with a few people answering questions. When Reggie show up, a lot of time it's just a whole bunch of deflection. We've learned our lesson. What lesson is that? Well, we understand that we have to communicate. These are broad topics. We know you need to communicate. Communicate what? Well, we need to express the uniqueness of, what does that mean? What is that? What's the uniqueness? Well, the different aspects that make us. Stop it. This is a bunch of nothing. Just sit down until you got something. Don't come out, shut up until you got something. But like D2K said, they have been quiet so long, they have to come out and say something at some point. But when you come out, don't send Reggie to say this nothing stuff. Send somebody else. That's just me, man. I mean, if I ain't got nothing to say, if I'm the star, I mean, Jay-Z don't show up to say. He got other people that can talk for him, and Rockefeller too. Some people president don't need to be talking on certain things. That's why he got the vice president to go over here and say a bunch of nothingness. He don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Reggie too big of a player to be having.
I guess they feel like they have to say something because there's a lot of unrest when it comes to the NX, and it comes to just Nintendo in general for like 6-7 months. I guess to like.
I'm gonna mute for a second, so go ahead and keep talking. I'm gonna mute for a second.
Yeah, it's just like last year. There's been a unrest, even with their as D2K was talking about, the loyal fan base, the people that buy that turd because it's a turd. It's been some unrest, man. I know after Star Fox was showed at E3. I mean, I've never heard so many Nintendo people upset at Nintendo in my life.
That E3 was it was abomination. There was so many people who are loyal Nintendo fans who would defend Nintendo to the death, that just completely just love to glorify Nintendo and everything. People that dedicate their whole channels to ignoring the facts about Nintendo's, foolishness and just worshiping them. And they were out there in force saying this is ridiculous. I cannot believe they did this. I cannot believe somebody had to look at that Nintendo Direct and edit it and say, okay, this is good to go to the press. Somebody had to look at that and say this is okay. And I'd like to know who that guy is so I can, give him a F5 or something through a flaming table. Like, it didn't make any sense. But, they can still fix these types of things. It's just that they have not done or said anything to make me think that they will. There's no reason. There's no goodwill. They're below sea level in terms of trust right now. Nintendo has burned a lot of bridges with a lot of people, and they have lost a lot of trust with. They've been lost of trust with the core gamers there from other, the Sony fan base who had Nintendo consoles because they like Nintendo games, and Microsoft fan base who had Nintendo consoles and like Nintendo first parties. They've been lost their trust. Yeah. But even loyal Nintendo people, they're starting to say, I mean, why am I sitting here making excuses if you're just going to throw dirt in my face? Because that's what it feels like. It's almost like you're saying, we know that you're going to be there for us no matter what, so we can treat you like crap, and you're going to accept it and love it. So,
yeah, and it, like I said, that's why I was using the whole, Sony is bold enough to say it, but Nintendo might not say it, but they actually act it out. It's actions in them non-words. They really believe that basically they can feed the fan base that is faithful to them. They can gamble with them while trying to supply a group of people that ever moving target, so to speak. Because who they're been shooting for the last decade is a moving target. The casual gamer, the tablet gamer, the mom, the soccer mom is a moving target. They move as the I would guess the hype of something new comes on the scene. They move to a piece of leaf in the wind. Wherever the wind blow, they move, and that ain't always towards Nintendo. So if you're trying to shoot that leaf, you're gonna exhaust a lot of energy trying to hit a target that's always fluctuating and moving and changing and evolving, and whereas you have this fan base who is consistent, who does love what you do, loves your games, support your games, defend your games. You won't even let them put your games on YouTube and showcase your games.
Exactly.
You flag them for being proud of being a Nintendo fan. You flag them for being proud of your game, but then you trying to hit this moving target that might stick with you for a few months, and then the next new hype thing on the market, they own that. So And then you send Reggie out here to say a whole bunch of nothing. His star power is linked to a whole bunch of empty words, empty rhetoric that pertains to nothing. And it's like, dude, it's like a preacher who's preaching a whole bunch of cliches. Like, are we gonna go on the scripture at any time today, or is it just gonna be Jesus is good? What we already know that. You know, so, and I hate to say that, use that analogy, but that's how I feel with Nintendo. It's like, as a fan, D2K touched on it right on the money. I love their IPs. That's not the problem. The question is, do I trust that you're going to give me the IPs that I love? Are you going to give me the Metroid? Are you going to give me the Mario, the one we actually want? Are you going to give me, which we know is coming now, Zelda? Are you going to give me these games that we want, and are you just going to, we can throw them Captain Toad? It's a good game. They defend it and praise it and put a whole bunch of videos up about it. Then we'll flag them for putting that stuff up. They'll stay there, but let's try to find this market over here where these soccer moms are on these tablets. Let's try to hit that market. Let's try to reach them. It's like, okay, you know, and then you slowly losing the folks that's fighting for you. Because I'm at a position now, you know, I don't trust Nintendo. I really don't. You know, I've said it too many times. I want to trust them, but I don't. I don't trust Nintendo. I just hope that they do the right thing. But, you know, hey, the reason I say that is we know what we're going to get from Sony. So I don't have to trust Sony. I don't have to trust Microsoft. We're going to get a more powerful system than we had last time. That's their strategy. That's their direction. That's their method. Nintendo is the only one you don't know what you're going to get generation by generation. So I have to trust them because what they put out might be totally against what I want, whereas Sony's PlayStation 4, I knew what it was because it's going to be a more powerful system. That's it. That's all you're going to get, the same controller, more power. If you don't understand that dynamic, then you're really slow. You know, you don't,
more power. I can't do that Tim the Tool Man laugh for nothing, but yeah, that.
But you know, as a Sony fan, K-Bomb, you know, every generation, you know what to expect from Sony. More power, more capable system than the last one you got. That is not Nintendo. We haven't seen that Nintendo since the GameCube. It ain't more power. It ain't a more capable system. We don't know what's coming. We don't know if we're going to get some new controller, some new innovation, some new way of looking at the game, something that go in our ear, something that wraps around our finger, our foot and toe got this wrap. We don't know what we finna get. And I ain't trying to be funny, but it's hard to put faith in that year after year. And I'm not telling them to be like Sony and Microsoft, the whole power route. But you have to, when you come out as a Reggie Fils-Aimé, as you come out as a Miyamoto, back in the day Iwata, now we got Kim, however you say his name. When these people speak, Kimishima, when these people speak, they should have something of substance to say to their fan base. Why? Because what they're bringing is so unique, so different that they have to be a little bit more transparent, a little bit more open about it because they're not doing a straight understood thing. So that's my rhetoric, man. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Round the money, man. That's exactly what that needs to change. Is that they need to understand is that it's not sweet. These fans that they think that are in their back pocket, some of them are going to say, you know what? Maybe I am being stupid. Maybe I do need to look at this more objectively. Maybe they don't deserve my unbridled and undivided devotion. Maybe I should check out this PlayStation Neo or PlayStation, because this is not a sweet time to be doing stuff like this, because you have other consoles that are on the way, and these are people who may have been Nintendo loyalists. You have a more powerful PlayStation 4 coming out. You have a Scorpio coming out. This could be a time where if the NX is something again, some type of gimmick again, and Nintendo has to really convince us why a console that's, let's say for the sake of argument, is only somewhat more powerful than the Wii U or close to the Xbox One, why you are giving us a console that's essentially 2 generations behind in power, because this is a 9th gen console, and why this gimmick is going to be worth me buying this. Because I'm thinking to myself, a lot of people will make the argument to say, well, Nintendo's released underpowered consoles before. But like I said, when they did it with the Wii was more powerful than the previous most powerful console, which was the Xbox. When they released the Wii U was more powerful than the previously most powerful console, which I don't know which is between the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. There's arguments for both. I don't really care. But the point is, Wii U is more powerful than both of them.
Right.
Now you're saying that this is based off of the rumors that the NX might not even be as powerful as the Xbox One. So it's still going to be less powerful than the current gen consoles. And now you're going to compete against next gen consoles with this? So you're saying that, well, okay, the gimmick is going to be something that's great. Well, let's just say for the sake of argument, the gimmick is it's a hybrid system. You can play your games on the go. You can play your games on the TV and then take it with you and play it portable and come back and keep playing. That's not enough to last 5 to 6 years. I'm sorry. Right. You're going to have to come with more than that.
And let me say this, man. The whole reason I say pay attention to the choice of words used like unique and the uniqueness of the NX, what that is playing towards is Nintendo's whole rhetoric of we're not competing against the other guys. We're unique. We're different. But let me ask you something. Do you go to Lowe's to buy a Nintendo system?
No.
Do you go to Foot Locker to buy a Nintendo system? Is there some separate store out here that Nintendo games are sold there and see Sony and Microsoft? No. When you go buy a Nintendo system, if you walk into Toys R Us, if you walk into Best Buy, if you walk into Walmart, if you walk into Sears or Kmart, wherever you go, GameStop, anywhere you go, even when the rent games, Nintendo is alongside Sony and Microsoft gaming hardware. If you walk into Best Buy right now, you're going to see Nintendo back there where Sony and Microsoft systems are. You're not going to see Nintendo at a whole different side of the store. So stop with this whole rhetoric, we're not competing, because you are competing. What you're choosing to do is you're choosing not to play the game. You're choosing not. You're trying to play a different game while being in the game. It's like you can't play chess. You can't play checkers while playing chess. if they play chess,
you can't play chess with checker rules, basically.
Right. Well, there you go. Thank you, DJK. You can't play chess with checker rules. You're playing chess, so you got to play chess. Now, do you have to try to go head up with these guys, money for money, dollar for dollar? No. But you got to realize that the mom that's going to buy, the mom you're targeting, that's you trying to target for these systems, is going to see the PlayStation 2, the PlayStation system, and the Xbox system while they're going to find your system. And you better hope that the message that they have is not better than your message, because you are competing whether you want to say you are or not. When I walk in there to buy a game, I have to walk through the section of Sony and Microsoft to buy the Nintendo game.
So and their sections are usually bigger than Nintendo's section.
Better,
so you're gonna see more of Sony and more of Microsoft, and usually in most stores like Best Buys and GameStops, usually Nintendo stuff is way in the back. So you got to pass by all the Sony stuff and all the Microsoft stuff before I even get to the Nintendo stuff.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you how what D2K is saying is true. Now I've experienced this several times. You can even ask my wife, because she gets upset with me because I'm out here and I had to stop because I'm out here defending Nintendo like I work for them. I'm in Best Buy, Sony section. You got the high definition Sony screen with the controller hooked up with all the games on there to be played. The shelving is put together right. And it's just all just plastered up with information and goodies. And right behind it is Microsoft, the same setup, a nice high-definition screen, controller, everything set up. You can play the game, read about it, all the different nuances. And Nintendo's section is a small section off to the side of those two sections. You don't even see it with your eyes. If you wouldn't even know Nintendo was over there unless you walked around the Sony and Microsoft section and saw the Nintendo is on the back side of that.
Mm-hmm.
And there you see the Amiibos. There you see the Wii U controllers. It's off like this. But it's all in the same area. But it's this Cinderella stepchild type of scenario going on here.
And you see mostly 3DS stuff, and then like 1/4-foot section for the Wii U, if that.
Right. So Nintendo has all of this to contend with while trying to convince you to buy an NX when Microsoft and Sony is understood just by walking into the section. This is something that you should take note of. Nintendo is, okay, why is it not like that? That's the first thing you're going to say. Why is it, okay, this is a video game system, right? Yeah. They have controllers like this system has, yeah. Then why is this section not like that? Well, you know, Nintendo is not as popular as them two. That's what you, that's the message. And Nintendo, it is nobody's fault but Nintendo. So when I see Reggie come out, and I hate to drag this on, I'll end it here. I'm passionate about this as a fan. I don't care in real life, but as a fan, I'm passionate. If I'm on here talking about games, let's talk about it. Nintendo has to fix its message. You just can't keep telling me you learned your lesson. Prove it. Start changing the sections in the stores, building up your section, proving to Best Buy and GameStop and Walmart that you deserve more space on the floor. How about that? That could be a starter. Because that's a reflection of reality. While we aren't here fussing on YouTube and back and forth on Twitter, reality is in the store when you see it. Reality is Nintendo is less than these other two platforms, and PC moved into Nintendo's spot in irrelevance. In relevance, the PC took over Nintendo's spot, where the PC was the outside looking in, you know, the one fighting for, hey, we should be taken serious. Now everything is Xbox, Sony, Xbox, PlayStation, PC. You don't see Nintendo nowhere. Am I wrong on that?
Nope.
So this is, to me, Reggie talking all this stuff is a waste of time. Tell us what we need to hear. Show us the NX. How about you come out and do that? I think we waited long enough. I think you can be like Sony and say, hey, this date, like D2K said, this date we finna talk about the NX. Until you're ready to do that, don't show up. Just stay in the background. We don't need to hear that you learned your lesson, because you can't prove that until we actually see you do something. So that's all I got to say on that. So, do y'all want to go on this last topic, or are we done?
No, he gotta move around about 15. So
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you know my situation.
We'll pick this other topic up at another podcast. I ain't gonna be able to make it to this week's podcast on Thursday, so we're not gonna have one. And I probably won't make Sunday either. So we'll skip this week of podcasting and pick up the following.
They got two in this week. We can chew on it.
So anyway, guys, I hate to end on such a rant, but it's all because to me, I do like Nintendo, and I do want to see them succeed. And I know that sometimes listening to Reggie and even Miyamoto, man, at times, man, it's like, dude, I'm so sick and tired of you talking around the topic. Why don't you join the conversation? We all talking about the NX. How about, since you were creating the NX, you join the conversation? You know what I'm saying? Why are we talking about it more than you talking about it? Like, come on, man. It's long enough. It's time to talk about this thing. But I don't need no more I learned lessons. I'm done with you telling me you learned the lesson. How about you show me that you learned the lesson? How about you do that? So,
Yeah, I heard a little passion in there, just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? How many times can you say the same thing, man? I mean,
is Missouri the show me state, or is that Arkansas?
That's us. That's us.
Okay.
It's a show me time, man. It's show me time, you know. So that's my motto, man. So anyway, let's go ahead and sign out, starting with D2K.
This is D2K signing off. Hopefully we can get a podcast going sooner rather than later. These breaks kind of not good, but hopefully we can get something going. So
See you guys next time.
All right. K-Bon.
Yo, hey, K-Bon 20 again, man. Had fun on this one, y'all. Hey guys, leave comments in the comment section on YouTube. We try to get to them. I know I had a little back and forth with a guy in the comment section, so go ahead and leave your comments down there. If you guys want to continue these conversation with us, we'll definitely check those as often as we can.
All right. And make sure you go over to fulleffectgaming.com and check us out over there. Like I said, we're going to take a hiatus this week on the podcast. I just can't do it every week, but we'll pick up the following Thursday. And till then, folks, deuces.
I like to say, straight talk all day, every day. We talk about them games that you play. It's Knucklehead and K-Bomb on the